What's up, guys? It's John Dominique, the Soul Proponent. I want to discuss some of the unexpected effects of the path to the soul. I think it might be helpful to know that these effects are normal and they're not something to be so alarmed about. First one being is that the personality hardens its heart against the soul. There's like an inner constriction. There's a desperate attempt to grasp at something, to reject, to suppress the soul. The personality does not find the soul very comfortable at all. It finds it very distasteful, actually. And we'll notice like a hardening and what's the word I want to use? An intense constriction of hanging on to something. The personality will find anything. It doesn't matter how bad it is or how good it is. It's going to hang on to something because it'd rather hang on to something than nothing. Now, this is normal. So my advice is to just allow this because it's a process. When we can accept and see how badly the personality is needing to hold on to a foundation, we can begin to maybe have some compassion for it and maybe accept and see just how badly we're resisting what's infinite and eternal. What's infinite and eternal is God, but the personality sees it as a threat to its survival. In the Bible, there's a story where Jesus goes to the other side of the lake and heals the shackled man. And the man in shackles cannot be tamed. But when Jesus comes there, there's a legion that's possessed the man. And the legion flees into the pigs and the pigs fall over the cliff. This is the effect that the soul has on the personality. The personality goes up into a wall. It gets slammed to the wall. It has nowhere to run. It feels stuck. It knows it wants to hide and run, but it has nowhere to go. And the soul kind of scatters the mind. It scatters the personality as far as it can go to the edge of the cliff. And the personality is trying to move as far away from it as it can. So that's a parallel there that I think could be helpful when we see the story of the man in shackles that Jesus heals. This is what this points to. It's symbolism. And the other effect of the soul is that there's a little bit of dizziness. I experienced this when I was first coming on the path to the soul. It was just more like sometimes when I moved and I stepped around, like I could feel like a slight shift in my stance, or it felt like maybe I was underwater a little bit and I was on a boat and the boat was moving just slightly and I could feel that little shift. So that's also normal because the heights are very dizzying. The higher we get and the further we go out on a limb towards the infinite and eternal, and I suggest going out as far as you possibly can because the further you go, the bigger your awakening. But the more we go on this path and leave the personality, this is a whole new way of being, a whole new way of thinking, and a whole new style that we're not used to. There's a dizziness, and it's a process. It takes time to get used to, but accept the process, love it, and go deeply into it is my suggestion. And find out why the personality is running so badly. What's it running away from? Look at it deeply. Look at the fear deeply. Accept it. Embrace it. This is what's necessary to take the first few steps on coming to terms with the soul. So these results are a lot of times unexpected for people who don't know any better, without any guidance. These might be reasons for people to turn their backs and run the other way as far as they can. But understand that these are just a few symptoms of the first few steps, and we can learn to embrace them. And what will happen is, even if we turn our backs the other way and go back towards holding on to whatever we're holding on to, There might come a time in the future where we'll come back to the place where we left off, and this time we'll come back even stronger, and we'll be able to last even longer as we let go of what we're hanging on to and face what's infinite and eternal. John Dominique, the Soul Proponent. Peace.